check. Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're live. Hi, I'm Glenn at COAF Field Team. And, well, let's just do a real quick howdy on the live chat. Just make sure that everybody can see here. And then we'll start here shortly. And, well, this round, here, I'll type it in real quick. This round, I plan to talk about today's trip to the Blue, River. There we go. And when I say the trip to the Blue River, kind of mix things up, specifically taking out the switch rod. And the switch rod is here. This baby right here. Right here. Right here. Let me switch camera. Right here. Okay. All right. This is that Cabelas TLR switch rod, 11 foot, with an Echo Ion 7.9 and a Rio In Touch switch chucker. Line. Okay. And what I'd like to do is just go right into today's trip. I got the video and some of the things, some highlights I want to discuss about it. And in this case, the reason why I decided to take the switch rod was, one, well, I got a bunch of rods and I got to go through them and just eventually use them because I hate to have them gathering dust and not being able to fish them. And then two, there are some situations where a certain technique or rod would come in handy. In this case, my plan was to go, excuse me, to go fish one of the sections of the Blue River by Hughes Crossing, where I knew there would be a need for, well, maybe some roll casting or switch casting, and it just would be easier to have a longer rod and being able to get out to the area where the trout were. So let me go ahead and run the video and we'll go from there. Sunday, we're here at the Blue, December 11. Got the walking stick and we got the switch rod this round, 6 weight, and we're going to try it out here at the low water crossing. See how it goes. We got some new wading boots. We retired the old ones. They finally blew out on me. These are some Sims instead of the Cabelas. Let me run it back again. See how these do. Start it wrong. Sunday, we're here at the Blue, December 11. Got the walking stick and we got the switch rod this round, 6 weight, and we're going to try it out here at the low water crossing. See how it goes. We got some new wading boots. We retired the old ones. They finally blew out on me. These are some Sims instead of the Cabelas, so let's see how these do. You can see a fair amount of folks out here over there at the Hughes Crossing, low water crossing. You can see some folks catching some trout, so we know the trout are there. And there's the rock where I'm going to be stationing myself initially. Right here, I can see trout in the water. They're moving about, and I'm trying different lures, and I finally get one to take on a producer. Drifted downstream. All right, first fish of the day on a producer. Fish downstream. All right, over here by the rock. Not bad. I had a olive near deer, had some looks, and then switched to a mop fly, had some looks, went with a mega worm, white and no looks, and then decided to go with the producer and got that guy. Fishing at about, I'd say about 4 foot below the indicator, and I'm using that Oros indicator courtesy of Donovan Cleary, fly fishing guy from Oklahoma. Okay. All right, got it. Okay, here I've moved from the rock further upriver, and I'm fishing where my bag cast is really clobbered, so I'm gonna have a hard time doing a traditional casting. So that's where that switch rod came into play. And as long as you can get your fly in the middle of the river, you would definitely get some hits. So I got my cursor, and here's the area back in there where they're kind of lurking.
All right.
And like I was saying earlier, I was using different flies, but they finally just settled on that producer, a white colored fly. I did try several other white colored flies, but they just wanted that producer for some reason.
All right, that'd be number 4, but we're gonna keep this one, so that'd be number 2.
All right, and again, here's the view where the trout are lurking. Got a jumper on this one.
Jumper.
And this whole area behind me is clobbered, so you can't do a traditional back cast like you're fly fishing. That's why I use that switch rod today.
Another one.
I'm able to either use a roll cast or a switch cast to get it out middle of the river to where the trout are lurking. And I can fish it one-handed, I can fish it two-handed. Here, it doesn't look very far, but it's actually pretty good cast there. Well past the some kind of undercut area, not undercut, but some brush or limbs that are hanging down here. That's maybe like 20 yards away where those brush are, and I went past that. And that's no back cast. And one of the key things, the reason why I got into using a switch rod was I injured my shoulder several years back, and I wanted to keep fishing. Well, I found out that I could use a switch rod and cast it normal overhand with no problem and not hurt my shoulder or not feel any pain in my shoulder, so I was still able to do some fly fishing. And here you can see several other folks in the river, right where these guys are in the river. They're doing a bunch of roll casts into the money zone where the trout are. I tend to just stay on this side and just use that switch cast and just get it out there and get my hits. And that cast went basically well past the halfway of the river.
Nice.
I did see some other folks further upriver that were doing really well. I think they caught well over 50 to maybe even 100 trout that day, or today. So the trout were there. For me, I just wanted to take the opportunity as I was passing through the area from Oklahoma City, heading back down to Allen. I was like, hey, I might as well stop at the Blue while I'm on the road here. And then from a presentation standpoint, initially I was just doing a dead drift, just kind of letting it float along. And then I noticed if I could twitch it or give it little short pulls, that would trigger a strike. And then about 11 o'clock or so, it kind of tailed off and then started picking up again.
Nice.
And there's just an example of how I'm using this roll cast and the switch rod. It's a fair amount of, or fair distance. No back cast, and it's getting well past mid-river into that money zone where those folks were standing earlier in the river. After I got my 3, I decided to do a little catch and release and just kind of play around and just see if I could try different flies, as well as continue practicing on this roll cast. And it's really a timing thing. Instead of powering the rod, You time it well.
We got
you're
Blake
able to
over
do it,
here
and
catching one on the switch rod.
we did have one subscriber check us, try out the switch rod, and sure enough, he got a really good form with it, and was able to get some really good cast with it. And sure enough, he even got a trout.
Oh, you can lift it up. It'll handle that little trout.
I take care of other people's products very well.
All right, and there's the day's limit. Pretty good sized ones for stalker trout. All righty. So, other things I want to discuss about this. I've been following Zach Flatt. He's the fly fishing guide from New Mexico, and he used to fish the Blue River many years. And he's been putting on his website, Flat Out Fishing, some key information about the Blue River. And two things that he did add from the last time he had posted was location 5 and location 4. Location 5 is the area that I was fishing, Hughes Crossing, and he gives some really good information there on how to fish it. And then location 4 is further upriver, Desperado Springs, by the first barrel. There's some good information there. And just to show you what I'm talking about, here's where we fished today. Let's see. This is the parking area. And this whole area right here where that big fish is, that's where I was fishing. And in particular, I think you can see the rock. There's a rock right here, right there that I was fishing. And he gives some really detailed information on how to fish it. Does talk about using different flies, as well as being able to handle your roll cast, because it is pretty clobbered in that area if you fish it from the side that I was fishing from. Alrighty. And here's another view. So right here is that rock where I was standing. Then later on I went underneath where there's a little drop off or rocks here, and I'm able to shoot my line up this way. So here's that overhang. I'm right about here. Let's see, yeah, right about here where the guy is standing, and I'm casting out this way, and that cast is getting out to about right here where my cursor is showing. No back cast. I'm using that switch rod, just taking advantage of the shooting head that's on there and being able to take it out there and get it to where the fish were. All right. So then, let's see. Let me take it to the next item, and then just to describe the equipment I was using. This is it right here. All right. It's the Cabelas TLR switch rod, 11-foot, 6-weight. They don't sell this anymore. I have two 6-weights as well as an 8-weight. From a reel standpoint, I'm using an Echo Ion 7.9, and I'm using a Rio In Touch chucker, line number 5. Make sure the label says number 5 on there, and that's what's rated for a 6-weight that I use. Let's see, all I have is some Dacron backing, not much. It is an integrated running line with the shooting head, so you don't have to use a separate shooting line and attach it to it. Instead, it's already integrated with the shooting head. And from a casting standpoint, you can cast it one-handed, you can cast it two-handed. Some of the folks that were on the river that were trying it out noted that it was a fairly light rod. And it's very surprising. I use this one also at Denison Dam for striped bass, and have had really good success there. Being able to cast it fairly easily and get it to where the fish are lurking. So that is what we're talking about today on switch rod. So any questions, put in the comments. Let me know. From a Blue River standpoint, they did stock it. Excuse me. They did stock it earlier in the week, and guess what? The trout were there, and from what I heard from some other folks, there was some folks that were able to catch 100+ trout that day doing some catch and release. So the Blue River's on fire basically, and if you have the opportunity to get out there, certainly get a chance to get out there. On a side note, I did order a couple of things that I needed to take care of. Last trip to the Blue River, not this one, but the one before, my wading boots blew out after close to 20 years of service, so I retired it. Well, they had a flat tire. Got it replaced with some new ones, and they worked out really well. I did have a hole in one of my waders and had to make some repairs to it. I did some temporary repairs, but I also ordered this repair adhesive. It finally came in, so I'll be able to fix that set of waders. Little pinprick hole that gets your socks wet, and when it's freezing out there, you definitely don't want to get any water on you, or get any water on you in your waders. The other thing is I did order a center pin reel from the UK. Not one of those really expensive ones. I think it was like $55. It finally came in, and here it is. And the big thing about the center pin reel is you mainly use it for float fishing or drifting. And this is what's pretty cool is, look at that. It just kind of spins and spins and spins, and it's supposed to be used to drift the float downriver and do a presentation of your bait or your fly, and being able to catch a fish or two in this manner. So it's another just technique, another excuse for me to go buy some equipment and maybe try it out. So stay tuned. I'm hoping that I can maybe use it on the Blue River, because there are some downriver presentations, as well as there's a couple of rivers up in Oklahoma that would definitely give this a try. And then of course you've got tail race at Denison Dam, that there's a good opportunity to catch a fish or two over there using this method, as well as, let's see, Lake Louisville Ecological Learning Area has some good opportunities there that I'm thinking that we might try that out. So stay tuned for that. Also, while I was out on the Blue River today, did have meet a few folks. So shout out to some of the folks out there. Let's see, Gene and Nick from Garza Outdoors on YouTube. Checked out your channel. Very interested. Subscribe, so maybe we can continue to maybe meet out in the field. Also, Blake, he's the individual who was using that switch rod today. It was great meeting you there too, as well as Tim. You guys were doing great on the river. It looked like you guys were doing really well, so awesome. And then Laramie, it was great meeting you there. I forgot what fly he was working for you today, but I bet it was pretty fun using that 2-weight CGR, Cabelas CGR fiberglass rod. So cool beans. Alrighty, so that is all for now, and do stay tuned for more fishing videos. Hope to be able to hit a couple of more paces here in the next couple of weeks, and hopefully well, we continue to go by our motto, learn to fish by our trials and errors. All right, till next time, we'll catch you all later. Good luck and good fishing.